So Thanksgiving is coming up. I wonder how many of you are already planning for that and what you plan on doing. Many of you went to my poll under the community tab and answered already, and I was surprised by the results. We are going to do Thanksgiving at my house. I think it will go good. No matter how much I plan, it's never going to go exactly like I think it's going to go anyway. But we are getting a meal catered from Cracker Barrel. This is the first time we're doing that. Here's why I think Thanksgiving went better than my last social event. I've been pondering on it, and I think it's because, one, of course, I was at my house, but two, I had things I had to do to get ready for it, so I had less time to be anxious over the social event because I was too busy. Even though it was a Cracker Barrel meal, we had to put it in the oven and heat everything up, and so there was something to do, but it wasn't overwhelming. So, and plus my husband, a really big help, because I had worked all day, and he got everything ready, and I helped him out, and my son helped out by cleaning the house, and so it went as good as it could go. It actually boosted my self-confidence after going to the other social event that felt so horrifying to me. It was a lot better. So I'm grateful. I didn't end the night with no spoons, and it was enjoyable. We enjoyed the company. The food was great, and I hope you also had a good Thanksgiving. Comment down below, how did your Thanksgiving go this year? I have an appointment with my counselor today, and I want to talk to her about a few things that's going on in my life right now, like the awful response I had at the social event I went to this past week, and also how I feel about my daughter right now, and not having any contact with her, the grandkids. Those are the three main things that I want to talk about. I'm hoping it will help today. I find that I have to write it down because I don't always remember in the moment. So I have to write a few talking points down, and plus I don't want awkward silence during the session. So this is very invaluable for me before I go to the therapist to write notes on what I want to talk about. So I just left my counseling session, and I think it went really good, and she really made me feel better. I definitely mentioned the social event that happened last week on Friday that y'all may have saw the video about, where it was just a disaster for me. So I went through my story to her. Talking about it to her made me feel better. She said what she recommended was that I need to go to a social event where I don't know anybody, because she said the more you keep yourself from being in social events, the more reclusive you can become, or the harder it will be to be in a social event. She asked what I was doing for Christmas, and I said I will be going over to my sister-in-law's house to open gifts, and I don't mind when it's immediate family, you know, my husband's family and all. It's easier. So I also talked to her about how I'm feeling about my daughter right now, my current feelings on the situation. And if you're new to this channel, you probably did not see the videos where I temporarily kept the grandkids so they wouldn't go into foster care. And then I wasn't able to do it, but about a week before, I just melted down and was having like panic attacks and stuff, and I couldn't handle it. So I talked to her about that situation and how I don't think about them so much anymore. And I think that's my way of protecting myself. I can't be hurting all the time. I was really hurting for about the first month after it happened, but I've just protected myself by staying busy with my hobbies so I don't think about my daughter and grandkids that much, because I don't want to be sad all the time. I I know they're okay. I know they're safe, and that's the main thing about it, knowing they're okay. And this is a blessing in disguise. I know things are going to be better for everybody after this. So I talked about that with her. And also talked to her about my boss who's going to be leaving. And she's the best boss I've ever had. And my last boss at my where I worked before I am now traumatized me. So I wasn't able to work there anymore. I was having panic attacks and meltdowns, and I had to leave that job to go where I am now. So I don't know who's going to come in. Are they going to be domineering, overpowering? Because I can't work with people like that, and I won't do that emotionally. It's not worth it to me. So that's to be seen. She told me to give that person a chance and see. Then I can always decide to maybe just then go part-time or do my Etsy shop more. But she encouraged me on my Etsy shop to build that up. So if I had to work part-time, I would have the extra income. So I had a mini meltdown this morning and at work, and I was just very overwhelmed at the situation that I was walking into. There was a lot of work to be done, but it was just me there. And so I think a lot of it was me realizing my boss is going to be gone after next week. And it's the not knowing of who's coming in and the flashbacks to my last boss who was really mean to me and the reason I quit the job. And I was just crying on the phone to my boss who's not at work today. I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't help it. Like I said, my coworkers know about my diagnosis, so they're understanding, and they know if I break down what's going on. It's just too much emotion-wise for me to process and deal with in the moment. I can't stop myself. In fact, it's nothing I feel ashamed about. Why would I be ashamed about something I cannot help? It's not my fault. It's just one of those things. So I call it a mini meltdown because I can compose myself. It took me a little while, but I was able to compose myself and move on. If you have too many mini meltdowns, for some they can lead to a mega meltdown, which I haven't had one of those in a while. But getting through the holidays is tough, and we just try our best. And when you have changes in your life, like your boss leaving, who you love very much, it can be hard to process sometimes, and so you just do your best. It's all you can do. I'm going to make it through the day.